You're smoking tobacco again.
I did not smoke
Bullshit.
tobacco again. I swear to God I didn't.
It smells like tobacco.
I know, I've been thinking that too. I think it's just because my thing's open here. I was thinking that too. I was like, I get another incense, but I gave you the incense, so you had it.
Because like I came down here, this is welcome to my show. Welcome to my show. This is called Unlock Everything. And this is my guest, Groweesha.
Mm-hmm.
Are you on another show at the same time? Is this like
I'm getting ready to edit my shows, so I was doing some work while I was waiting.
Of course
for
you're making the most of it.
I
Good for
try
you.
to do
You're
that.
busy
I make
lady.
the most of the things I can
Okay,
do.
welcome to Unlock Everything. I missed that. Say
That's
that.
okay. Everything?
Wait,
Unlock everything?
No, wait. Hold. Welcome to Unlock Everything.
Everything?
In its own time. That's a nice sound for right now. Let's all do that. Welcome to Unlock Everything. This is my dear friend Groweesha, aka Madeline Thompson. So far. Nice to see everybody. We're going to be discussing very important topics in an offhand manner, casually.
Casually, like we do.
Like we do.
It's like no one's here but us.
Like as if the words that come out of our mouths make the world better. Just because we had a good idea.
So important.
Just because we had a good idea, we played ping pong with it with our friends. You know, I think that everybody should do permaculture and vote for the Democrats. You know, and that's just, you hand it out there and you see what the world does with it.
Dragon dreaming.
I take that last part back, half of it. I take half of the last part back.
Oh, okay, which half?
Come on. Permaculture is everything. I don't
everything
have much
working
hope.
together is
I don't have
everything.
much hope for the party politics. But I love the entertainment. I'm totally thrilled by the entertainment value.
It's good stuff. And it really helps us see ourselves because we're every one of those characters, right? So whatever's annoying you about them is more than likely something that you still learning to love in yourself.
Like, you think that's not you, but it's actually brewing inside of you.
Always you learning to love you through the mirrors.
So tell me all about you and your podcast, because you're the whole reason why Madeline Thompson. I didn't mean to say
Madeline
that.
McCann is the name. We know that's the real name.
Okay.
So,
It's all good.
So the
Groweesha.
whole thing, like, I mean, about the podcast specifically.
Yeah, you want to plug the podcast, and I want to make sure that happens.
All right. Well, you know, in the podcast, we have friends walking into the podcast right now, walking into the room. So I don't know, are we inviting them in, or
We came to say goodbye.
Oh, okay. Well, you're leaving right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Do over?
No, we could cut.
Yeah, we kick to this. We in it.
Welcome back to Unlock Everything.
So, like,
This
can I
is my
just
guest,
talk about what
Groweesha.
just happened?
Yes.
So, I'm sitting here at the nest, right? And the nest is somewhere that's been created, I guess, as a place to manifest the dreams that have been in our hearts to make. And it involves just a beautiful space where the landscape allows you to soften, and the people here are wanting to create authenticity. And like things do vibrationally, like how we do vibrationally, it's been drawing people to it. So we're going to be doing a prayer here at the end of the month to connect to our ancestors. We're just saying goodbye to some of the people who are going to be involved in it, who offer themselves in the same authentic, pure-hearted way towards shared prayer and like really harmony in our families and communities. Yes, Gordon, you can still my water. So it's just grateful to be here. And so we were just saying goodbye to some of the women that will be involved in supporting the initiation of the shared prayer.
Amazing friends
So amazing.
that have shown up in our lives like they were there forever.
Yeah.
But they weren't. It's only been a few years. It's like lawn darts, right? Like the lawn dart situation we find ourselves in, you and me.
Yeah.
Madeline and I have been through so much together in these 5 or 6 short years, long years.
Yeah.
From, you know, my own child growing up and her, oh Jesus. Oh my God. I love it. And you know what? You know what's the cool thing? Keep laughing because it's on tape. Good.
So he's like about to stand in his story and the camera just goes whoop.
It just decides to do something else. Come on, keep laughing. That's good. If you could snort a little bit, that might help.
I can't help but snort.
Okay, wait a second.
So we're back on the air.
Hang on.
Getting there
Are we?
closer and closer. You should see this toy that he's working with. He like makes
Oh,
it
yeah,
move around
totally.
this whole power like
Totally.
tripod. Like
Yeah, well, that's what's
Gordon
giving me a
really
hard
has
time.
some fun with these toys, but there's
Well,
a pull in the cord that's gonna pull the again. So
that
I'm
could
not sure.
no.
We'll see, but
We'll see.
I know that we're gonna have a good conversation because anytime I talk to Gordon, it's a pretty good conversation.
Oh yeah, right.
See, there's a pull in the top cord.
Okay.
There's too much.
All right. You know what we might do here. Okay. Good. Hold on.
No. I wish we could take pictures of this whole thing. It looks like you're like navigating the world. Like if it's gonna be virtual and you're just like looking at this, just making the whole virtual world through your phone.
Yeah, I think people who are
Is that
watching this, if I
permaculture?
don't get my editing straight, this is going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride for any viewer.
Oh, I see.
But I think it's worth it. I think it's an interesting artistic sort of document. It's a document.
Too.
It's an artistic document. Hang on, let's see.
Yeah. You definitely gotta love us, but that's what happens with the people.
If you don't love us,
if you don't
this
enjoy the conversation and think these two cats were interesting, like I met Gordon, I was like, oh, this dude's funny. I got just this dude. I'll never forget one of the first times him standing outside on the porch of where he was making a video. And he had his nice little jacket on, his hat, and he was doing these videos in his car and stuff like that, and talking with his feather. He was just cracking me up, doing poems all the time.
And it was all just such ridiculous trash.
It was so
It was
great,
just
though. It was so
nonsense.
yourself. It was so your heart.
Ouch, that hurts. You know what? And then in the end, it's true. Silence is golden.
Noble silence.
So beautiful. And I think I'm making like some impact in the universe with syllables.
No, you're releasing to yourself what you think you need to hear. Like,
yeah.
I found out after I made the Pear CD that I made it for me, because when I listen to it, I feel so much better.
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
that's the only
and that's
reason.
okay if
I
that's
think
selfish
that's
and
what's-
obnoxious. I don't
No.
care. Like, I made something to listen to make myself feel better.
I think that's what art really is. Is like the
Feeling
best art
expressed.
is like the love of self, and like so you love yourself so much, or you listen to yourself so much that you have to.
I learned to respect my words. Like, I can trust that voice.
Let me see here. We'll see if this works for a minute. We'll see. So it's off, but we can rewind the
Stop.
tape.
Oh, I think I forgot your name. That's why. Like,
Well, I'm not saying you forgot my name. I'm saying what came out of it. And never mind. Let's go.
oh my
Move
God,
forward.
so sensitive.
Move forward.
All right,
Let's
so where
move on.
were we? What do we go? Where are we going for?
Well,
what do
you were
wanna
saying
know?
how funny I was, actually. And that we were talking about how we were lawn darts and we got stuck together and we appreciate.
Oh, you were
one
starting this
another's
whole what we
voices.
lived through stuff. You were going
We
into
went
your
through some
daughter down the
stuff.
pipe and stuff. But
Yeah,
like,
we went through some stuff, some
we
broken
grew.
limbs, some
We
broken
grew.
limbs.
we grew.
Yeah.
We grew.
And now here we are,
Mhm.
lawn darts once again,
Mhm.
and happy
Mhm.
lawn darts
Very.
up in Woodstock right
Right.
now at the Nest, which stands for Natural Experiences for Sustainable Transformation. Now you could say that's a bunch of hooey, but I think there's something to putting those words down and saying this is what we're intending,
Mhm.
and we're really keeping it simple. And now that we have this technology, which we understand comes from all over the world and is a globalized product and that sort of thing, and we're trying to connect to that big world outside us in a way that wasn't really real 50 years ago or 20 years ago even. There's that whole conversation now. We all feel that we have to share ourselves, but there is really something special happening here at the Nest, and these conversations are part of that special little energetic, creative vortex that is primed and ready for everything that's going down. We're not really fearful now. It's this beautiful, appreciative, gratitude vibe. Let's get together with our friends and do things that matter and share the goodness, share the wealth of knowledge. You're a grandmother now, Madeline, in a number of ways. A spiritual grandmother in a community or a community of communities around the region, around the world. Costa Rica, you go down there that you actually have done your moon dance for a full 4 years in Costa Rica, so you can
And I got
pour
an
a
abuela
sweat.
staff, and I can
You got
pour
an
the
abuela
sweat
stuff.
lounge.
So this is something like maybe some of our viewers don't know anything about, but it's in integrating traditional modalities, traditional wisdom, traditional activity, traditional knowledge into our day-to-day lives, as you might call us, like gringos or something, or like,
Gringos.
yeah. But from my perspective, anyway, for me, it's just that the gringo science didn't hit home, didn't resonate, it didn't make sense. It cost somebody. Somebody was in on the ground floor before I was, and they were making a buck off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now this science is all reverence to the mother and to the directions and to the ancestors.
And sharing wealth, like sharing abundance, like letting everything fall where it needs to go. Like there's no hoarding, there's no fear of not having enough. Like that idea that there's not enough has been like a root cause of our suffering for a long time.
Was maybe built in.
Maybe.
Yeah, built into this to keep us scraping and scrapping for the last little bits. But we don't live in that fear. And so far it's working out very well. It is only 2020. We haven't gotten to 2021 yet. The rate things are going. No, we're glad because the garden is green and it's harvest time here, early October. And tell me about your show. Tell me about your podcast.
Well, I decided to hear the voices of the people who were around me to start a podcast called Our New Voice. Because initially when I thought about having a podcast and putting myself with one or two other characters and trying to make a show, which still could happen, but I recognized that it wasn't really just my voice I wanted to hear. I really wanted my voice to initiate our new voice, in so much as hearing from the teens, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, different cultures and groups, like to collect our voices, because when we can really start to listen and hear each other, it helps to change our perspective, and then when we're making decisions, we have more compassion and awareness for one another. I see it like a giant talking circle that allows us to take the time to listen to one another, and from that place, just make more informed decisions, have more patience, more grace with one another.
That's awesome. Our New Voice.
Our New Voice, and the logo's made by Motherbug, my deep sister of soul love.
Oh, good, we get to plug Motherbug.
And Motherbug art you can find on seaofnectar.org. It's a non-for-profit, and she makes beautiful art with rainbows and little people that describe her emotions in art. And so the logo...
Motherbug is a crazy cool person.
One of the best things that ever happened to me.
Yeah. She's one of the best people, actually.
Yeah, she's
not
a good person.
Not to classify or categorize or anything, but you
Well, I think the best people for each of us are when you hit a note with somebody. In my soul family, in my lawn dart collection, she is a beautiful reflection of me that allows me to be my full authenticity.
Isn't that cool? We have so many nice friends.
Yeah, we get to be ourselves with so many people that really know and love us and trust us. And so that's part of Our New Voices too. I pick some of those people, Motherbug's on the show, Gordon's on the show, some of the people that have been in the stories of my life are the ones that I asked. My own children and their friends are in the teens episodes, like one of my dearest friends from when I was in my 20s is in the 50s episode, I have a lot of different lives that have helped to activate my authenticity, and I want to hear what they think about the world, and I want others to hear it too, so that I know I get a bigger picture when I listen. So that's what it is, and it's getting really close. It's been hard for me to get it all the way done because I get these ideas and then I try to do them and I'm like, oh my goodness, this stuff is so much to do.
It's and the truth of the matter is, I don't know how this show is going to get on the air. I still have to figure out the editing software, but I'm doing it anyway. And I know, and then I have an obligation to you and to us that we have this nice conversation. I'm not just going to leave it in storage. And we've had some other nice conversations that are still on tap that I still have to edit. But the point is that we keep ourselves busy, we create from our heart, and we keep moving forward, we keep following that sound, that inspired call to do what we're here to do, because it actually does matter. And it does, it changes over time. Like I look back over the years, and we've come a long way just by having ideas in our heads and our hearts. That guides the ship, and then just by having that bearing, like, oh, this is, nature suits me. Being with someone who can pray suits me. Who wants to, people who want to pray with their lives suits me.
Shared prayer is everything.
And then here we end up as testament to the power of a shared prayer.
Yeah.
Can I get a witness? Amen.
Woo, woo. Aho, no, it's aho, So you say aho.
Aho.
You say aho.
Aho.
You keep saying aho and I say and then it goes back aho. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how that goes. Shared prayer.
This is how our friends hang out and get down. It's really fun.
So then it also allows the music to be part of it because there's a vibrational frequency that seems to come from each one of us, and I know our family has a certain kind of frequency, and my being the grandma lady, I have a voice and a tone and songs that came from my heart, so I'm using the songs from my heart to be included in the podcast so that it can start to send out a frequency of ways to consider basic understandings for us to use to grow. Like, all the same questions are in the show. Like, each person's being asked the same questions about how they're informed about their gender and how they understand themselves in the world and what they use to discern truth with and what their relationships have taught them about themselves. So everyone's asking the same questions.
Madeline. It's like the new world. We're creating these education scenarios, platforms, so that we can get we can share the education we never got ourselves. The toolkit for happy, healthy living. So that's so nice that you're adding to that toolkit for people. And where do they find your show?
Initially, the best place is Groweesha.com. But it'll probably more than likely be on YouTube.
Groweesha, when are you going to get your own? Sorry, Groweesha.com. Just make sure you don't do anything.
Groweesha.com. I also have a Facebook page, Groweesha, and Growing with the Seasons. I also have a Facebook. So
you like her. She's got several letters at the end of her name, and she's a wonderful counselor.
I am a therapist for families and addiction stuff and hypnosis and things like that.
And she has her own stuffed doll coming out soon.
Oh my gosh, stop it. I have to tell you, Gordon, you're going to love this part.
Look at that. I can see a stuffed doll.
When I was younger, and so I've been married 2 times.
Okay.
And after the first marriage...
You're not shunned from my basement. You're
good. Okay, good. So I maintained my first relationship beautifully, and I honor him completely as the father of my children, and I'm grateful for the time we spent together to discover more about ourselves. And once it became clear to us that his way of being and my way of being were not growing in harmony, we split. And it was painful because in my thoughts about myself, I was never going to get divorced. I mean, it's definitely not cool to get divorced, not in my idea of myself at that time. But it still happened. And so I recognized that part of what was in the issue was my inner child. And now I'm a therapist, right? So here I am. It's in the 90s. I'm bartending.
And as you know, therapists never have inner problems. Or
my gosh. I don't think there's any crazier people than us therapists. But anyways, so I'm in my house now, and I get this house where I make this giant 20 by 30 living room into my bedroom, and I hang tree branches on it, and I make a garden, Groweesha's garden. I wasn't Groweesha then. I learned to be Groweesha soon after. And I made this place to have my own house, my own stuff. And I used to do inner child groups. So I have, my own group of friends. I've always collected some really great friends. And so there are some really swell friends that used to come to my house then that I'm still good friends with. And even some of them are on the podcast. So we had inner child groups in my room. And so, this is funny. So I decided that we should all make our inner child. So I made a little doll of myself with like the braids and the denim dress and all that. And then the funny part is I gave it to my mother because my mom used to collect dolls all over her house, and she had these 3 little dolls. So I was like, Mom, look, I made a doll myself. And like she just started looking, this is fucking pathetic. She just was like, my mom is so funny. She's so all honest with you. Like, she's like, look at this fucking doll. Like, I had these like stocking legs. It was like me hand sewing. It looked like a Raggedy Ann or worse. But like, I was like so like, I made this little doll myself. Yeah. And prior to giving it to her, I mean, it was like a sacred object in my room. And I was like, I can now be the woman, and I'm going to give this to my mother and be the woman. But it was just so fun. And she just starts laughing. She's just like, But she knew how sweet it was. No, she wasn't. No, she also keeps it to this day. It's in her room. I can see it in my eye.
But she was real with you, like, oh fuck, now I got to keep this in my room.
So many times over the years, people have said, we need to make a storybook about you or make some doll about you or something like that. So I mean, I don't necessarily want to be an icon, but if I am and it helps people grow, I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. But like, it is funny.
No,
it's
if they want to make a doll of me, I'll get over it. I'll get over the.
Are we gonna have a pull cord that does rhymes? Like I'll have like a
no.
pull cord of rhymes that comes out of Groweesha's ass. Does the doll have to have as big an ass as I have?
No, that would be a very expensive doll.
It would be like the distorted Barbie with like the giant bump.
I want like an eye like the $6 Million Man used to have. We had those back then.
Yeah.
$6 million.
The bionic was really cool.
He had a bionic eye.
I used to jump off the swing, so and then like run to try to be bionic. Yeah.
That was great.
Mm-hmm.
I really believed in Steve, whatever his name was.
Yeah. I don't know. Not good at names. Bionic Man. Yeah.
Bionic Man, the Bionic one. No, Linda Carter was Wonder Woman. But then there's that other one.
Yeah, they'll never even
anyway, we're off topic.
So,
Let's bring it back
the
home.
show is coming out this month. So I don't know if this will be out before it comes out, but I pray that it comes out and within the 28 days.
Well, once your agent talks to my agent,
oh
and the producers
yeah,
and they
to the
make
agents, to everything helping it happen.
The contract, the tour. Once that gets all set, then they'll actually release the first episode.
Yeah.
Right. But me, I just went straight to the people. YouTube.
You've been on the streets, just throwing it up there, just like willing to do anything you gotta do. Be like, and like we've said from way back in the day, we're gonna fuck this wall up good.
We're gonna yeah. The word was unlock, and it was good. The word was Perma Jam, and it was good.
And growing with the seasons is all we can do, but learning to do it in some type of harmony, I think, is a wise thing for us to do at this time.
So speaking of harmony, it's leading up to politics season. How does one keep fresh skin and a rested look and a purposeful day and doesn't lose any family members to the upcoming political melee?
Well, the first thing that comes up when you ask me that question is, why is he bringing up politics? But that's normal for Gordon. So I'm going to say that whatever we focus on grows, and it does seem like what we continue to focus on when it comes to politics is sides. And I'm really curious what it would be like if we could stop thinking about sides and really think about what we do want to create.
Or the whole object.
The whole, like, what's going on for our children, what's happening with the way we're going to manage things in a collective, like, instead of deciding what team's the team that should win, or what your favorite football team is, or what color team you're on, like, how does it come together in a way that everybody wins? And I think if we could all focus on that more, we might just start to resonate and respond differently to things. Because when it's justifying your belief system, we have a tendency to get kind of righteous. I know I do. When I really think something's blue and somebody else says it's blue, it's like, yeah, it is blue, right? Yeah, it's totally blue. Oh, yeah, totally, yes. Oh, my God.
And then you like that person.
And then it's like, that's my people. They see it like blue. But, like, really, it's yellow, it's green, it's purple, it's red, it's everything, It depends on where you're standing, who you're referring to, where your compassion lies.
The light isn't hitting everything at the same angle.
But there's a way, obviously, that everything blooms in the planet, right? Like, there's a way that everything on the planet is having an experience to some degree.
It's interesting. It's like that elephant thing with the blind people and the elephant.
So that's, again, where the podcast and the perspective comes in, because our ability to really appreciate another person's perspective, that's the beginning of the softening of the ego. And the ego's a nice container, and you can use it when you feel a little awkward, and you can perform in it. I get it. Fun. I perform in mine.
I like my ego. Leave me alone.
Oh, we know he likes his ego. But as we soften our egos to take...
No one, Madeline.
I don't know that I have an ego. I think I change all the time.
What are you talking about? You are ridiculous. Anyway, we'll
Wait
save
a
this
minute. Wait a minute.
We're gonna save this for off camera.
I have an ego that you think is in the
We're
way.
gonna mud wrestle later. That's pay-per-view though. That's the pay-per-view version.
That's for the subscribers only. Please subscribe below. Hit the bell that says you want to know when we're gonna do this next.
You want to see the mud wrestling? Hit the subscribe button.
Like that. So I may have whatever everyone else has. I don't doubt I do. But I think softening our egos is what I was trying to say to you. And just the thought of it got you
I was
all
just
sparky.
fucking with you. I'm a fuck you all good, man.
Yeah. So I appreciate the time here at Unlock Everything,
Yes.
and I appreciate how being in the safety of this and other friendships helps you unlock everything.
Oh, thank you so much, Madeline. You've been a very special friend throughout the unlocking.
The process of the unlocking.
The unlocking. That's
Unlocking.
it will be future. In the future, it will be referred to in history books.
Oh, the era of the unlocking.
The unlocking.
So is that like a way to say unlock king? Like so, like you're the king of unlock?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, but there's something to taking the reins into your hands and making with your domain.
Riding that
what
horse
you
like a
may.
lifelong course. That's what's up. Communications for the foundation for making us all
to
what.
go with this.
We do need that rapper in me to come through. That's the next round.
Lovely.
Once the podcast is out, we'll wrap it through.
This was another beautiful episode of Unlock
Thank you.
Everything. I don't know how long this one is, but because we're not really going by any special format right now, I
Yeah.
think this is an appropriate point to drop, unless there was any other. Oh, you know what? Since it's up to us, we can actually say, no, scratch that. Did you want to pick an album before we leave, and you can play an album we can fade out with an album?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Any album.
I don't
Pick
know.
an album,
West Side
any album.
Story is sitting on top.
Well, it's an easy one.
That is.
Oh,
an
look
easy
who's
one.
that. Look who that is.
Word of mouth speaks.
Yeah, you know who that is, right?
Nope.
That's Motherbug and Migs and their whole thing.
Oh, really?
And the truth of the matter is, and I can't believe I know you caught me on tape.
Oh, wow.
Because I didn't, and this is the truth. I haven't listened to this yet because I didn't have a record player for all this time.
Wow, this is amazing. I want to
Now
listen
I
to
have
the
a record
whole
player.
thing.
And I kept it in a safe place, and here it
Wow.
is, and we get to play it together.
Woo, woo, woo.
All right,
Wow,
come
which
on.
one? How about Tyranny and Harmony?
Just do something. There was no dead time. That's what the radio people tell you.
So here on this album, this vinyl, Motherbug and Migs make some sweet word love in this vibration. So we're gonna listen to song number Tyranny and Harmony. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how it goes here. Maybe there's 2 records. Is there 2 records in here?
Yeah, be careful,
And that's a
kid.
video or something? This is channel D.
This
Like,
is X.
so
There's
how
a
do
few-
I...
I think there's like 3. I don't know.
Beyond the Sun, It's All Time,
Just play one. Just
Manifest,
play one. Surprise
Generation
me.
Y. Let me see.
That's not it.
He's so patient. Did you notice how patient
We're
he
trying to
is?
fade out here. I thought you'd be smoother. Come on.
All right, let's do the Power of the Universe since you're
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
Okay? There you go. I'll
Yeah.
put this away. Let's
Thank
listen to the Power of the Universe.
All right.
What a great treat to have the vibration of somebody who you'll one day meet, who's singing her heart song, and like I'm hearing it for the first time on this vinyl. So how amazing!
Here
Gordon,
we are,
thanks for
everybody.
getting this. So happy to listen.
Sharing some word of mouth from the Nest a few years later.
Here's a beautiful album cover. It says Speaks. You got all the words there. Wow, this is really beautiful. Well done. Well done. This really does speak. Way to speak. Here comes the music. Down here in the Nest basement, so much art everywhere. Everything Gordon touches is artistic.
I think they're doing something artsy with this.
He's got some more sound issues. I'm telling you, it's hilarious how much
Yeah.
sound issues he's having.
No, I think this is how it sounds.
There's no words?
Maybe that's the whole idea. Yeah, it's like ambient.
No, there's words. The whole CD cover is filled with words and choruses and stuff.
The power of the universe runs through my veins.
How the universe runs through my veins.
Neon lights pulse
All right, we're gonna fade out with that, and the cat's running around. Maybe we'll.
to break.
We have to be
getting dark
quiet
out.
so they can hear it.
To break. Power of the
found this
universe runs
just
through
now.
my veins. Neon
That's a nice reminder. I'm not gonna make them listen to the whole album, but we can.
So may the power of the universe run through your veins and may you inform it of what you really want to create. Thanks for the time. Unlock everything. Grow divine.